All right.
That's the thing we were talking about, where you finish and you're still expecting the crowd to go wild.
Yes. So when y'all are watching, we hope you're going wild at home, but we can't hear you right now.
We do have a crowd of one going wild.
Yes.
You just can't see him. That's all. Mr. Tom Drummond running the production.
That was a lot of fun.
I have to admit, I was curious. You know, we've all played at the Maple Leaf a lot, and I can only speak for myself, but I've always found it to be a place where, you know, it doesn't matter what's going on. It always feels good to get up on stage and play.
I agree.
Here. And so I was curious if it still worked without the audience. It's not the same without y'all, but it does still work.
Yeah.
It's still the Maple Leaf.
And it's so awesome that the Maple Leaf is doing this. For me, this is my first time making music with people in real life in like 3 months.
At all, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've done the solo live streams, but to play with other people live in person, first time, man, it feels so good. I missed y'all.
Miss you too, Joe.
That was a tune of mine that I wrote in this past year called The Snuggle Struggle. It is in the key of F.
Right.
For those of you who want to jam along at home. Actually, that was a thing. People, when I was doing my streams, people were posting like Instagram stories of like playing along with me. So, yeah, so if y'all want to play along, we'll give you the keys to the tunes. And
That's awesome.
yeah, play some stuff at home, learn some tunes with us.
One of the coolest things about live streaming to me, unlike regular performances at a bar where, you know, or a music venue or club, unless it's one of those places that is set up for recording, for the most part, you know, it's just gone.
Yeah.
And these all live forever on the internet, so you actually can play along with this stuff.
Yeah.
You can transcribe all of Joe's solos and send them to Joe.
All right. Good question. Yeah, we got some fun stuff picked today. We got a bunch of originals, tunes of mine, tunes of Brad, some unique takes on some soul jazz stuff and some straight ahead jazz stuff, and even more recent indie rock stuff too. So let's do. Is there Giant Steps?
Suddenly I'm less confident.
I wonder who did these record arts. I'm not sure if they're in the shot, but there's really cool. There's these really cool side fills on the side of the stage made out of records.
Tom, are people able to see these records that are on the wall? I figured, yeah. I see the New Orleans Suspects represented. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. I remember seeing these.
Oh, they made
for
them?
A record release or something.
Oh, cool. Good stuff. Sure.
You don't want to do the melody straight up the first time and then the second time the...
Yeah. That makes sense. Let me grab a sip of water. So this is a... Yeah. So this is our take on a really, really famous tune by John Coltrane called Giant Steps, but we're kind of doing it our own way. we go. We got a yeah out there. This is the part where you hit the yeah button on Facebook or wherever else you're watching this. They got to add a yeah button.
I'm going to confess to missing a note on the melody, which is funny because the only thing about that song that's not hard is the melody. My mind was on the rest of the tune.
Speaking of that, I had a flashback when we were playing the tune. I first became aware of Giant Steps when I was maybe 13 or 14 years old. I went to a performing arts school in Connecticut, kind of similar to NOCA, but Connecticut's version of it. And I was this like little kid basically in the senior jazz band, and they opened the book up to Giant Steps, and I was like, oh, I want to play on this one. And they're like, no, Joey, you're not ready for this yet. And I was like, no, sure I can. Then I looked at it, I was like, oh, I see what you mean.
I feel like I had a similar experience when I was buying this saxophone when I was in high school, I think. Yeah, I was in high school. No, maybe. Yeah, I think it was like a freshman in high school or something like that. And I wanted to try the horn out, and I wasn't really an improviser then. I was a reader, so
yeah, I
just grabbed the first book of sheet music I could find, which happened to be the Charlie Parker Omnibook in B flat. And the salesman's just looking at me like, really? You're just going to sight read the Omnibook? Okay, cool, yeah. I did okay.
Yeah, there's some hard stuff in there, man.
It's not stuff that was improvised on a tenor saxophone, so that makes it even harder.
Oh yeah, it's also true. Yeah. All right, so this is a tune of mine, also written in the past year, called "That's Our Perfect." It's kind of an inside road joke for any musicians out there. Well, actually, for anybody listening, when you're a musician on the road, Brad and I have actually spent a lot of time together on the road. You end up with inside jokes and stories. You get to know your fellow bandmates really well. And That's Our Perfect was the result of a 10-hour overnight drive to Reno, Nevada.
So result of sleep deprivation is what it is.
And it was a phrase I said by accident that really didn't have any meaning. And I was like, that's a song title right there. So it's called That's Our Perfect. Right on it, right on the bam. 1, 2. Oh, take your time. All right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That's our perfect. That's how I said it too.
Yeah, I remember that morning well. Hey! For those of you who couldn't hear that off microphone, our numbers of fans are doubling by the minute. It really is fun to play music with these two people I've played with a lot and that I love playing with, and we discovered this combination, I think, for the first time playing under my name at Snug Harbor, with the great Max Moran on bass, with Joe just playing acoustic piano, which we had never done before. It was super cool to do that, and playing a bunch of compositions from everyone in the group, and just sort of a special night for me. But then we also have done trio stuff with Joe playing organ, and I don't know if you can see it on the video, but the foot pedals on the organ, which is a sort of a rare skill that Joe brings to the table. playing in trio with Alfred, doing a little bit different repertoire, some of Joe's tunes and some couple of mine, and then just some sort of reworked, rethought, standards. So it's been fun to explore both these things with these guys.
Yeah, it's a really fun trio. Cool. G, yeah.
All right, we're going to do a request of mine. This is a song by the, I guess you'd call him indie or indie rock band, Lord Huron, who I heard for the first time during Mardi Gras, actually, back when I was Tom's neighbor. I was trapped inside the box by the parades, and I was desperately trying to get to some Mardi Gras tableau, background music, tuxedo gig. And I'm stressing out in my car, losing my mind, because there's nothing you can do when you get stuck in that traffic, as any New Orleanian knows. And this song came on NPR. It was, as it turned out, it was a live version of their sort of hit, The Night We Met. And man, I was just transfixed. I was like, what is this, and where do I find it? And luckily, they said the name of the band at the end of it. So I went and picked up with a couple of their records. And that's kind of how I found that's over the years how I've found things to cover, is I'll just be totally taken with a band like that I'd never seen before. Then luckily they were coming through town playing at the Orpheum Theater. Remember that, when bands would come through town and play theaters?
Exactly.
Yeah, I miss those days. And saw them with my girlfriend Laura, and just was blown away. Just incredible show. Started listening to their records more, and found a couple of their songs that now I adapt with different groups I play with. And I thought this one would be good for this trio. So this is called Wait by the River, and it's on their record called Vide Noir.
Start with the bass or coming together?
I'm going to start a little quiet loop over here.
Okay.
And then do you feel good about the tempo just to start it?
Yeah.
I'll just give you a look. Is that counting?
Yeah. Hey, just a heads up for the tunes that we, like other than when we're talking back and forth, and this one other tune, you can cut this mic, because a lot of times I vocalize along with my playing. Oh, okay. Well, you just use it however you see fit. But just a heads up, you're gonna have a track with a lot of da la 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 la. Yeah, exactly.
All right, here's Lord Huron's Wait by the River.
Such a beautiful song.
Something a little different. I personally have always been just so attracted to great songwriting. I don't know if it has anything to do with growing up in Appalachia like I did in Western North Carolina, growing up with, acoustic folk music, or if it's just growing up like everyone else does in this country, listening to the radio. But it's something that's always been a part of the history of this music, borrowing from songwriters of all genres. A lot of the great jazz standards that we know were originally Broadway show tunes. And so, I know Joe covers some Radiohead with his band, and Alfred and I play with Noah Young's project that covers all kinds of crazy stuff, that you'd never have thought of hearing someone blow a saxophone solo over. But, so it's fun to kind of add to the repertoire that way.
Absolutely.
Speaking of great songs, this is my favorite Joe Ashlar composition. It's particularly apropos in these times.
Oh, yeah.
Want to say anything about it?
Some of you may know this tune already, and if you don't, you will know the lyrics very quickly. So join in and say it with us.
Right. You said you added a little to the lyrics, right?
Oh yeah. That's right at the end. There's a little.
That's coming. Okay.
There's a little PSA as part of it now.
Excellent. I can't wait.
The song used to have a different punchline up until recently.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
All right. This will be a little bit of an inside joke then.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm not a doctor, but I'm not a doctor, but right, Brad. Brad Walker, y'all. Alfred Jordan on the drums. I'm not a doctor, but 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 remember to wash your hands, wear your mask, and stay 6 feet away from each other at all times. And the hand sanitizer. Want to do it again?
I mean, I didn't know that.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. It worked. But it's up to you. I'm fine to play it again if you want. Or we
Why
can...
don't we do the last tune?
Yeah.
And see how it
Cool.
feels.
Cool. Yeah.
And then we'll see. I mean, because like, there's a couple of those we could do again if everyone wants to, and if Tom and Joe are cool with it. But,
Sure.
like,
Cool.
Something got off the brain steps. I'm not sure we're just being that hip.
Well, it was both, I think. We did a thing where...
Placing the root notes.
Yeah.
On purpose?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was on purpose. But then for a minute, I second guessed. I'm like, do we both know where we're at? And then we did. And I was like, cool, because you went with it. And I was like, does he think I'm the other side, or is he going with me? And I was like,
I will never ever think that.
yeah. And you went with me, and then we landed together. And I was like, okay, cool, it worked.
That's cool. Then yeah, it worked for me. I just wasn't. I wouldn't.
If it didn't land, but it landed, yeah. And that's why I was like,
If it didn't land, then we know.
yeah. But we landed because.
Felt some tension. It's like, but it was so consistent. It was like, it's gotta be on purpose.
I was doing it on purpose, yeah. But then he went with it.
Or you're just that like, no, I'm right, motherfucker.
Yeah, no. But no, because there was a thing on one of your gigs where like it was a form thing, because like he had a DS in his tune,
That's right.
and I was gone. But it was my solo first, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna play. And you were like, yeah, I thought you were doing some substitutions or something there. I'm like, I've always kept the attitude. You can keep this dialogue. I've always kept the attitude, the show must go on. So like, yeah, no matter what.
Talking about a gig of ours in Baton Rouge where, man,
Quorum
who was
Hall.
in the band that day?
That was
Me and you and
that was
Matt, I think.
Peter Varnado.
Peter, yeah.
Or Varnado,
Alfred
Peter
couldn't make
Varnado, and Matt Booth.
Alfred couldn't make the gig, so we had Peter Varnado, and anyway, it doesn't matter because like we started the first tune, and it's like a tune that's real simple, and so we didn't rehearse it, and that's always a mistake, because like there was just one thing in the chart that wasn't super clear. Joe didn't catch that, and he knew something was wrong, so he just was like, "Cool, I'm just gonna lay out," and laid out for I think the entire rest of the song, all 8 minutes of it.
I came back in on the melody.
Did you come back on the mode? Okay.
Well, yeah, so I played my solo, which was like, I just played
That was
Nebula
great.
stuff, and then you played, and I was like, I'm not going to screw up Brad's solo.
I thought Joe was just making a really firm artistic decision
Yeah.
not to play a damn thing behind me.
But see, it works. It works stage-wise.
I thought it was
you know?
great, yeah.
I learned a while back is if something happens, if you don't make a face, like something's wrong, most of the time people will not know, and that's what we're there to play for, for the people. Yeah, or do it twice.
That's right, yeah.
So while we're talking, I want to say, of course, thank you to all of y'all for watching, and thank you to the Maple Leaf for putting this together. They're doing a really cool thing now with a full, digital recording and 4 cameras, and just for us to be able to do this at one of the most legendary clubs in New Orleans is really awesome. So
Yeah, I was super happy when this came together. It's great to play with these two. I love playing with Alfred. Alfred and I have gotten to play together a lot over the years with a bunch of different people, and so it's super fun to be able to do some stuff that we're putting together ourselves.
Yeah.
And Joe and I have been on the road together and written songs together and all kinds of stuff. That's Tom Drummond back there running the production.
Yeah.
Better
Shout
known
out to Tom
as the stellar bass player and founding member of Better Than Ezra, but he's moonlighting as a right. Well, you got to get creative in this day and age, I think. And of course Dougie and Rachel and Hank and everybody at the Maple Leaf for and Joe on the sound. How can
Joe Kalb on the sound,
making us sound good? We hope. No, we know it makes us sound good. So yeah, this has always been kind of a home away from home for me, a place I felt comfortable and welcomed here in the city. One of the first places I started hanging out when I started trying to get involved here, hanging out with Papa Gross Funk on Monday, trying to sit in and sounding terrible, but getting back up there again the next week and seeing what happened. So it's nice to be able to play here again, even though we're not able to reopen yet.
Same here. I've considered this my living room for a while.
Joe is the official, unofficial house organist for the Maple Leaf.
I mean, if I'm not home, I'm at the Maple Leaf. That's generally my MO. Also, I think they're going to be putting the donation links up, and those donations are going to support this legendary club as well as all three of us and any of the other musicians who are going to be part of this event. So we also appreciate you contributing, because we got the clubs not being able to earn money. We got musicians not being able to earn money. So all that is just super appreciated. Thanks for letting us do what we do.
I think we're going to close with an old composition of mine called Nomad. That's on the very first record I put out, and that I put on the shelf for a while because, man, we just played it. I used to have a monthly gig at the Maison, one of the clubs on Frenchman Street that's unfortunately also not able to reopen yet. And, man, we played that song every single gig. It was always the last song we played, and it was kind of a burner, and I just got tired of it. And then Joe and I have another collaborative project with Brian Seeger, and Brian was like, man, come on, that's your hit song. You got to play it. I'm like, I think for it to be a hit song, people have to listen to it, but we'll argue about that later. But anyway, we revived it, and it's fun to play. So this is a tune of mine called Nomad that we're going to stretch out on. Thanks again for listening. Awesome. Thanks again so much for tuning in and checking that out. It was so much fun to play. And yeah, looking forward to doing more of that in the future. I certainly hope.
Thanks, y'all. Lots of fun.
All right, that's it for us. Good night.